This is the digital channel of the General Overseas Service of All India Radio. I am Manoj Mainkar, and in the next half hour, I'll bring to you news updates from India and around the world, awareness videos on coronavirus by Government of India, and a lot more. We'll begin with the news updates.
This is the General Overseas Service of All India Radio. Namaskar. The news snippets. Read by Maria Albina Michael. Prime Minister Narendra Modi delivered the keynote address at the India Idea Summit organized by the US-India Business Council. The theme of the summit was Building a Better Future. Prime Minister said India is emerging as a land of opportunity for investors. He said openness, opportunities and options are the perfect combination offered by India. Prime Minister Modi said India has attracted $20 billion investments between April and July 2020, even in the midst of the pandemic. He called upon American investors to invest in the country as this was the best time for investments. India's food processing sector alone would be worth $500 billion by 2025, observed the Prime Minister. Other important speakers at the summit were External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar, U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, former U.S. Ambassador to UN Nikki Haley, Senator Mark Warner, co-chair of the Senate India Caucus and others. External Affairs Minister said Washington has engaged with India very effectively. In the future, there would be more convergence of views. Secretary Pompeo described India as an important and key pillar of U.S. foreign policy. 782,607 people have recovered from COVID-19 in India. In the past 24 hours, 29,557 patients have recovered. 350,823 people have undergone tests for COVID-19 in the last 24 hours. Delhi's active case load has come down to 14,954. The national capital has a recovery rate of over 85%. Bhopal will go in for a complete lockdown for 10 days from 2 p.m. on 24th July till 2nd August due to a surge in cases. The U.S. has demanded that China should close down its consulate in Houston. The move is due to Beijing's increasingly hardline and aggressive actions, according to U.S. Deputy Secretary of State Steve Biegun. And that is the end of the news snippets. This is the General Overseas Service of All India Radio. We now bring you a special film-based program from our archives.
In Indian mythology, Saraswati is the goddess of learning and music. In paintings and sculptures, goddess Saraswati is represented as an extremely beautiful woman holding in her hands the musical instrument called veena. It is often said about a learned person or a singer gifted with a melodious voice that he or she has been blessed by goddess Saraswati. But it is not an individual on whom goddess Saraswati showers her blessings. Sometimes her generosity extends to a whole family, and which Indian family can be called more richly blessed by goddess Saraswati than the legendary Mangeshkar family? The paterfamilias of this family, Master Dinanath Mangeshkar, was a well-known Marathi stage actor and classical singer of his times. Dinanath Mangeshkar's 4 daughters, Lata, Meena, Asha and Usha, were devoted to music right from their childhood days. They were gifted with a melodious voice. Of these 4 sisters, it was first Lata and a little later her younger sister Asha who took the film music world by storm. They reached dizzy heights of fame in their careers as playback singers. Master Dinanath's untimely demise in 1942 deprived the Mangeshkar family of their lone and sole breadwinner. so both Lata and Asha were forced by circumstances to look for a career in singing when they were still in their early teens. The initial years were of course full of struggle. Both sisters had to frequent film studios in order to persuade film music directors of that time to give them a chance to sing for films. Asha recorded her first Hindi song Sawan Aya under the music composer Hansraj Bahal's direction for the film Chunariya in 1984. Her first solo song in Hindi was for the film Raat Ki Rani 1949, whose music director was also Hansraj Bahal. Asha's life took a sudden turn when at the age of 16 she eloped with Ganpat Rao Bhosle, who was some 15 years older than her. She married him much against their family's wishes, but the marriage was not successful. The couple separated in 1960 when Asha was the mother of 2 kids and pregnant with a 3rd child. For a while she lived with her maternal uncle, but the harsh realities of life soon compelled her to fend for herself and her family as best as she could. While her sister Lata's rise as a playback singer was almost meteoric after a few initial hitches, Asha, in spite of her best efforts, was not finding a toehold in the film industry. Till 1956, she had sung many songs for the films under music directors such as Sajjad Hussain, Ghulam Muhammad, A.R. Qureshi, Hansraj Bahal, and a few others of that time. But the nondescript low-budget films for which these songs were recorded either flopped at the box office or were too trivial in content to attract the notice of big filmmakers of Bollywood. Even though Asha got the chance to sing for Bimal Roy's film Parinita 1953 and Raj Kapoor's Boot Polish in 1954, her career as a playback singer was still in doldrums. Asha had first sung for O.P. Nayyar in Mangu 1954. However, Dame Luck smiled on her when in 1956 she again sang a few little songs under O.P. Nayyar's direction for C.I.D. These songs became very popular. From then onwards, O.P. Nayyar proved to be her lucky mascot. She sang under his direction in super hit films like Tumsa Nahi Dekha 1957, Naya Daur also 1957 and Kashmir Ki Kali 1964. Her songs in Naya Daur, Ude Jab Zulfe Teri and Maan Ke Saath Tumhara and also Saath Hi Haath Badhana were chartbusters of 1957. The year 1958 saw the release of 3 films, Lajwanti, Howrah Bridge and Chalti Ka Naam Gaadi, in which her songs became a rage with music buffs. With the music of Lajwanti and Chalti Ka Naam Gaadi was scored by S.D. Burman, the toe-tapping numbers of Howrah Bridge were composed by O.P. Nayyar. The hit songs of all these films took Asha right up to the top rung of popularity. Thereafter, she became Nayyar's most favourite singer until the early 1970s. The magic they created with their songs in film after film was an endless delight for lovers of light music. Asha was now an established singer like her sister Lata. She further consolidated her position in the film industry by singing highly romantic songs for films like Phir Wahi Dil Laya Hoon 1963, Mere Sanam 1965, Hamsaya 1968 and Pran Jaye Par Vachan Na Jaye 1974. The Mere Sanam song Ye Hai Reshmi Zulfon Ka Andhera Na Ghabraiye and Chain Se Humko Kabhi Aapne Jeene Na Diya from Pran Jaye Par Vachan Na Jaye are perennial favourites of Asha's countless fans. Asha was now a celebrity in the world of film music. In her heydays, what distinguished Asha from other female singers of her time was a forte for singing sizzling numbers, some of which were picturized on Helen, who was then well known for her dances with her erotic body movements which kept the front benchers in cinema halls glued to their seats. Songs like O Hasina Zulfon Wali Jaane Jahan from Teesri Manzil and Piya Tu Ab To Aaja Karwan, Ye Mera Dil from Dawn and several others bore the distinctive stamp of Asha's unsurpassable artistry as a singer of provocative songs. Asha has a great repertoire as a singer. She is known for her versatility. She can sing not just saucy, fast-paced songs picturized on vamps, but also piety-inspiring bhajans, sweet lullabies, thrilling qawwalis and pensive ghazals. The first music director to discover Asha's rare talent for singing soulful ghazals was Khayyam. In Umrao Jan 1981, Asha sang under Khayyam's baton ghazals like Dil Cheez Kya Hai Aap Meri Jaan Lijiye, Ye Kya Jagah Hai Doston, In Aankhon Ki Masti and Justaju Jiski Thi. These ghazals are musical gems which have not lost their luster even after more than 3 decades of their first recording. These are as popular today as they were in the early 1980s. In the early 1970s, O.P. Nayyar's creative genius as a music director began to fade. Musical trends were changing fast and Nayyar was perhaps not able to adapt to the new trend. Now, young music director R.D. Burman's star was in the ascendant. Asha was attracted by his genius for creating thrilling songs. She sang some scintillating songs under his direction in Teesri Manzil 1966. The film was a super hit and so were its songs. Thereafter, the Asha R.D. Burman team created their musical magic for many other films of the 1970s. Their close association ultimately led to their marriage in 1980. R.D. Burman gave a new direction to Asha's career when he made her sing songs like O Hasina Zulfon Wali Jaane Jahan and Aaja Aaja Main Hu Pyar Tera for Teesri Manzil 1966 and Dam Maro Dam for Hare Krishna Hare Rama 1971. Chura Liya Hai तुमने जो दिल को नजर नहीं चुराना सनम फॉर यादों की बारात 1972, दुनिया में लोगों को धोखा कभी हो जाता है फॉर अपना देश 1972, and many other such lilting ditties. Asha has sung songs in practically every Indian language. She has sung a few songs in English too. Besides, she has held with great success solo concerts of her songs in India and abroad. Apart from some 10,000 songs that she has sung for films, she has also recorded several private albums of her own. Asha has sung for most of the music directors of the Hindi film industry. Beginning with Hansraj Behel, she went on to sing under many other music directors such as Shankar Jaikishan, S.D. Burman, Hemant Kumar, Shalil Chaudhary, Chitragupt, Madan Mohan, Roshan, Ravi, Naushad, Jaydev, N. Datta, Kalyanji Anandji, Lakshmikant Pyarelal, Ravindra Jain, A.R. Rahman, Annu Malik and many others. Asha has been conferred with many awards. She has won the Filmfare Best Female Singer Award 7 times. Twice, she has won the National Film Award for the Best Female Singer, first in 1981 for a song Dil Cheez Kya Hai Aap Meri Jaan Lijiye for the film Umrao Jaan, and the second time in 1986 for a song Mera Kuch Saman from the film Ijazat. The crowning achievement of her career as a singer was the Dadasaheb Phalke Award, which she won in the year 2000.
You were listening to a special film-based program from our archives. This program came to you from the General Overseas Service of All India Radio. You are with us on the General Overseas Service of All India Radio.
You are with us on the General Overseas Service of All India Radio. We now bring you the day's commentary. Prime Minister says India is the best FDI destination. It is scripted by Ambassador Navtej Sarna, former Indian ambassador to the United States, and read by Kaushik Rai. In a stirring address to the India Idea Summit 2020, Prime Minister Narendra Modi presented a strong argument for the world and particularly the United States to invest in India, saying India offers a perfect combination of openness, opportunities and options. The two-day virtual summit organized by the US-India Business Council to mark its 45th anniversary was attended by business leaders from both countries. The theme of the summit is Building a Better Future. Highlighting that India celebrates openness in people and in governance, which makes for open markets and prosperity, the Prime Minister underlined the wide-ranging reforms undertaken by India, which create an ideal ecosystem marked by increased competitiveness, transparency, digitization, innovation, and policy stability. To illustrate the scale of opportunity in India, Prime Minister Modi pointed to the fact that half of a billion internet users in India, the number in rural areas exceed that in urban areas. Another half a billion are in the process of being connected together, presenting a huge opportunity in the 5G and other data technologies. The Indian Prime Minister delineated specific areas which would prove to be particularly attractive for foreign investors, beginning with the agriculture sector that has seen recent extensive reforms, as well as to the food processing sector that is expected to be worth $500 billion by 2025. Healthcare is another fast-growing sector that is an inviting destination. The Prime Minister also highlighted the energy sector, pointing to the huge investment opportunities for US companies in India's expanding gas-based economy as well as in the clean energy sector. As India undertakes a massive creation of infrastructure, including roads, highways and ports, this sector too could be profitably looked at by investors. Another area that came in for special mention by the Prime Minister was civil aviation, in which he pointed a demand of 1,000 planes by private airlines in India over the next decade. India could be an ideal base for manufacturing and supply to regional markets, as well as a hub for maintenance, repairs and operations. Prime Minister Modi asked investors to pay attention to the space sector, in which major reforms have been undertaken to encourage growth and investment, and also pointed towards the defense sector, in which the FDI cap has now been raised to 74%. The insurance sector was also showcased as an area with a very bright future. The FDI cap in insurance is now up to 49% and up to a 100% in insurance intermediaries. Very significant opportunities exist in health, agriculture, business and life insurance. The Prime Minister's address indicated that confidence levels in India's growth story were high. FDI inflows in 2019-20 was $74 billion, a fifth more than the previous year. It was noteworthy that even during the pandemic, $20 billion of foreign investment flowed into India between April and July this year. India could thus be the powerhouse which enables global recovery in the years to come, and the country's campaign for self-reliance would make it stronger for partnerships. The India-US partnership, a partnership of two vibrant democracies with shared values, could now play a significant role in helping the world to bounce back faster after the pandemic. The Prime Minister's sharply focused address is timely in terms of global developments. China's aggressive behavior, as well as its lack of transparency regarding the COVID-19 outbreak, has led to concerns regarding its reliability as a partner in many parts of the world. These concerns have exacerbated an already deteriorating US-China relationship. Many countries, including the United States, are looking for relocating supply chains away from China and reassessing their global relationships. In this fast-evolving landscape, trust and openness become important ingredients of mutually beneficial partnerships between countries. The Prime Minister's presentation of a rising India with an open mind and open markets, as well as a country that can be trusted, should prove to be a convincing argument for foreign investment partners. That was today's commentary entitled Prime Minister Says India is the Best FDI Destination. It was scripted by Ambassador Navtej Sarna, former Indian Ambassador to the United States, and read by Kaushik Rai.
This commentary came to you from the General Overseas Service of All India Radio.
Namaste. Greetings to the listeners of General Overseas Service ESD All India Radio. I am Namita Verma, a teacher by vocation. I live in Allahabad. Teej is a generic name given to the Hindu festival celebrated by women to welcome the monsoon season. There are three types of Teej: Haryali Teej, Kajri Teej and Hartalika Teej. All these fall in the months of July, August and September. Today I will talk about Haryali Teej, which is being celebrated in most of the parts of North India and Western India. This Teej is also called Shravan Teej, as it falls in the month of Shravan. It is celebrated on the third day of the bright half of the lunar month of Sawan. The surroundings become lush and green and reaffirm the vibrance of life. It is primarily dedicated to Goddess Parvati. Legend says that Goddess Parvati prayed with dedication for many births until Lord Shiva accepted her as his wife on this auspicious day in her 108th birth. It is primarily dedicated to their union. Tej celebrates womanhood. On this occasion, bright colors are worn by women: red, a symbol of love, and green, a symbol of fertility and prosperity. Married daughters receive gifts by her mother in the form of bangles, bindi, mehendi. The gifts are known as Sindhara. And any Indian festival cannot be completed without a sweet. So, Ghevar is the most popular sweet of this season. Swings on trees in open courtyards are a regular feature. Women are excused from household chores. They devote time in decorating and pampering themselves, applying henna to their hands and feet, playing on the swings, and praying for the health and prosperity of their husband and family, as well as a harmonious wedded life. Evenings are for folk singing, dancing, paying obeisance to the moon, reciting the Tej stories, and praying. In the evening, women dress up as newlywed bride. Young girls pray for a good husband. All in all, it reaffirms the love among the husband and wife and is an occasion of rejoicing for the woman. The festival of Tej celebrates the woman. Among the showers of monsoon, it is like Mother Earth's boon. After the harshness of summer, she indulges in the luxury of self anointment and pamper to augment her glory. Henna green and sari red, colorful bangles, bindi, and necklace, swings and sweets, and respect. She is ready to be led on the path of joy and happiness. Thank you. Keep on listening to the All India Radio.
Greetings to the listeners of All India Radio. I'm Nishtha Kavrani. Today, we celebrate an eventful festival of Haryali Tej. So let's hear something about it. Haryali Tej is a 3-day long, beautiful Hindu festival dedicated to Lord Shiva and Goddess Parvati. According to Hindu beliefs, Goddess Parvati fasted and was austere for several years. She was accepted by Lord Shiva as his wife in her 108th birth. Therefore, it is the day when Lord Shiva accepted Goddess Parvati as his wife. This festival is celebrated in different states like Rajasthan, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Haryana, and even Kathmandu. Also amongst different religions with different names. It falls on Shukla Paksh Tritiya in Shravan month and usually falls 2 days before Nag Panchami. The name Haryali Tej signifies greenery during the monsoon months in India. On this day, women offer Bel Patri, fruits, flowers, and rice coated in turmeric to the goddess Parvati and pray to goddess for the safety of their husbands and happiness in their married life. Women dress up in traditional attires, preferably of green color, wear green bangles, saris, and apply henna in hands, and swing chulas singing Sawan folk songs. They also observe a day-long fast to pray. Also, unmarried women wish for a husband of their choice. On this day, parents of married girls send sindhara or a bucket of gifts to their daughters and her in-laws. It contains homemade sweets, khevar, henna, bangles, etc. As it is a custom of sending sindhara by the parents to the daughters and her in-laws, so Haryali Teej is also known as Sindhara Teej. This beautiful festival is a symbol of dedication of goddess Parvati for Lord Shiva. Even today, women commemorate this mythological event by keeping a Nirjara Vrat for their husband's well-being and long life. They believe that this auspicious festival has the power to strengthen the bond between the couple. So in the end, to all the amazing listeners out there, I want to say that may the swing of joy fill your heart with love, happiness, and abundant fortune. Happy Haryali Teej. Thank you.
This broadcast came to you from the digital channel of the General Overseas Service of All India Radio.